Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order at 7:03. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Fahet,
Here.
Vice Mayor Santin,
Here.
Councilman Dion,
Here.
Councilman Lamas,
Here.
Councilman Perez Crespo.
Here.
There is a quorum present.
All right, thank you. Please stand for the invocation. We pray for the agenda set forth before us this evening and ask that we be granted the ability to work together in harmony when there's honest disagreement and dissent. We ask for the strength to speak up when given the opportunity to speak, and the patience to listen receptively and empathically when it's time to listen. We ask for the wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues that we encounter, and a keen sense of the welfare and needs of our residents. May we be reminded that we're not only leaders, but also servants, and that it's our responsibility to serve the common good of all the residents of Miami Springs. Amen. Please remain standing and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, so moving on to the agenda or order of business, is there any item on the agenda that anybody would like to move, or anything from the consent agenda that you would like to pull for discussion? No? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second?
Second.
Okay, we can do that with a voice vote. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All against, say no. Okay, so we have no awards and presentations. We open up open forum. So first up to speak, just a reminder that open forum is meant to be a one-way communication. We listen, we do not respond. You can talk about anything that has to do with city business. And then if you have any questions after that, you can certainly reach out to any one of us or reach out to staff if we have not already, made a note to go and see you about what you were discussing. So please feel free to speak now in open forum and address us. So first up, Brad Curtis, River Cities Gazette. Please state your name and address for the record. Wait till you get to the mic so that it's for the record.
All right. 1229 Westward Drive, Miami Springs, obviously, Florida. Can I hand each one of you
Sure.
one of these? Yeah, please. Some information here on the River Cities Gazette. So yeah, it's something that I've been trying to accomplish for a long time. I've been the assistant publisher for the River Cities Gazette for 25 years now, because of business-related situations, things like that, we're being urged to turn to a website, to a digital platform. And it's a Miami Springs-based website, so we need Miami Springs involved, and that's why I'm here, because you have your 4 pages displayed in the newspaper, and we need those to transfer over to the website, which will have your own section without advertising. I know you do 4 pages at this point, but that's fluctuated up and down over the years, and if we want, we could go down to 1 page. But without those pages, it's just, it won't be the same without at least 1 page that is derived from Miami Springs with all your information. And I just want to give out, some pertinent information about the website. It's going to be, very simple and organized website. Something that it won't have a lot of video and events, streaming, stuff like that. That will be for the social media. So it's just articles and advertising. Just kind of like the newspaper was, and there'll be more room, and it'll be a lot more of a flow. It'll allow us to get organized and use AI to create, order with the newspaper, it's an online publication at this point. We have one more issue in the newspaper that's going to be printed at the end of this month, and after that, we're going to the website. So, it's AD, it's mostly, it's about halfway done at this point. So it's under construction, and we have most of the same writers that were in the newspaper, but with some fresh blood like Ray Anton, and like Miami Master DJ. They're gonna Carlos Sonic. They're gonna do an entertainment section, and Angie Aguilar, Ken Wild. They're relatively new, and so we're adding some fresh blood to it, and we have to transition to get up to date and evolve with today's high-tech world. And it's we're set to go on October 1st, and I just want to get Miami Springs in on it. And it's a Miami Springs-based website, and we need your go and your full in on it. So we need those pages, or at least one of those pages, to be it's already built around Miami Springs having its own section. So like I said, it'll be very easy to navigate.
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Abel Lara.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Abel Lira at 532 Mokina Drive, over on the east end of town. I've been a long-time resident of this beautiful community, and over the years, you see a lot of changes. Some of them for the good, some of them not so good. My eyes really opened up one early evening. I took my mom, she was in a wheelchair back then, out for a walk. I didn't get past a block and a half, and I had to go out on the street because a car was blocking the sidewalk. It has just gotten progressively worse. Over the years, it's ridiculous. And I thought that the law about not blocking the sidewalk was only a Miami Springs law. But I recently spoke to a police officer, and he told me no, that they should know because it's countywide, it's not just Miami Springs. Back in the day when they put the streets together in this beautiful city, and they put that green area in front of the house, I don't think they envisioned 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 cars parked perpendicular to the swale in front of the house. And some streets have wider swales than others, and they can accommodate a perpendicular parked vehicle a lot better than others. But I think everybody here knows that the majority of the swales in Miami Springs do not support a perpendicularly parked vehicle that can at the same time stay clear of the space for the sidewalk and stay well within the boundaries of the swale enough so that they don't protrude out into traffic. I'll be the first one to admit, I'll take a drive down the city and maybe get a call, and I'm not paying attention to the traffic. It's not hard to assume that one of the vehicles extending out into the street is in an area that makes it a lot easier for me to get into an accident. It's not right. Everything I think needs maintenance. Our gardens need maintenance. Our homes need maintenance. If we don't stay on top of this issue with the swales, we're not going to look any different than Hialeah. You know, Hialeah looked a lot better many years ago than it does today, as does the Springs. I love this city. I've lived here close to 50 years. Please keep it a beautiful city. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lara. Okay, next up we have Luis Romero.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, you have addressed my concern, and I will follow you and apply your guidance. So I'll be here Wednesday.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Romero. Okay, last up, Carlos Lumpui.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. We live in Miami Springs, and we're proud of it. My name is Lumpuy, Carlos Lumpuy, 181 Hammond Drive. I note the absence of a woman on this 5-member dais. Men more often think with their heads, rational. Women with their hearts and emotions. My nieces tell me I'm a sexist, and I'm proud of it. That was a joke. I want to speak to that, if I can, with words of one good writer, a Cuban poet who became a liberator in Cuba. And he wrote first in Castilian Spanish, and then I'll read it in English. Nuestro apóstol José Martí dijo, las campañas de los pueblos solo son débiles cuando en ella no se alista el corazón de la mujer. Pero cuando la mujer se entremece y ayuda, cuando la mujer tímida y quieta de su natural anima y aplaude, cuando la mujer culta y virtuosa unge la obra con la miel de su cariño, la obra es invencible. In English, the campaigns of a people are only weak when in them is not enlisted the heart of a woman. But when a woman is shaken and helps, when a woman timid and quiet in her nature cheers and applauds, when a woman cultured and virtuous anoints a deed with the honey of her love, the deed is invincible. José Martí, in De las Damas Cubanas, Obra Completa, volume 16 and 17. We live in Miami Springs and we're proud of it. I see we have 1 minute. I handed out a tag, and if you see the tag, I've spoken this before, I think last year or the year before. I don't remember right now. But when we have identification of a neighborhood and people can have it on their front of their car, we tried in Fontainebleau Park to incorporate ourselves. We failed. The golf course owner betrayed us, and now you can't get out of Fontainebleau Park because there's no golf course. But here we own our golf course here in Miami Springs. And beyond that, that's a wonderful tag, and that tag, we could have it at cost at City Hall and make it available to residents so that they can be proud, as I am, of being here in Miami Springs. Every year that passes, I find it even better. I'm going to the pool for the first time. No charge. I'm 65 years old, and some days I feel it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlos. Okay, it is my understanding that there's someone else who wanted to speak during public comment. Come on up. Please state your name and address for the record.
Millie Perez Crespo, 501 Curtis Parkway, and I wish to thank Carlos. You were my opening act. That's right. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. On behalf of GFWC Miami Springs Women's Club, I want to thank Councilman Fabian Perez Crespo for bringing forward a proposal tonight to rename the park in front of the library in honor of Imogene A. Post. Ms. Post was our club's founder and the first president, and her vision helped give Miami Springs its library, beautify our city, and strengthen our community. But this proposal is about more than honoring one woman. Ms. Post represents a legion of women, some of them here tonight, and men, past, present, and future, who have devoted their time, talents, and hearts in service of our great community. Renaming this park tells every visitor that one person's vision, joined with the power of community, can create a lasting legacy. It's a reminder of the impact volunteerism can have, and a fitting tribute as we approach our city's centennial. So when future generations walk through the garden, I hope they're reminded that the heart of Miami Springs has always been and will always be its people working together in service and love for our community. So this year we celebrate our 85th anniversary, and we're just so excited that you, sir, have brought forward this proposal. Thank you very much, and thank you, Carlos.
Thank you. Okay, so we are moving on To approval of the council minutes, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the June 23rd regular meeting and the June 24th special council meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we can take care of that with a voice vote. All in favor of approving the regular and special council meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All against, say no. Okay, the minutes are approved. We have no reports from boards and commissions, so we move on to 9 public hearings. I'm going to open up for public hearing. This is a first reading. Is there anybody who would like to speak on 9A, first reading of this ordinance?
Mayor, let's read the title.
Yes, sorry.
Ordinance for first reading, an ordinance of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, amending Section 150-070.1 Miami Springs Gateway Overlay District within Article 7, Business District of Chapter 150 Zoning Code of the City's Code of Ordinances to amend the list of uses permitted on the first floor levels along road rights of way, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Once again, open it up. Is there anybody who would like to speak on item 9A? All right, we will close that public hearing. Okay, I'd like to kick it over to our esteemed city manager.
Mayor, thank you very much. As you all know, I've had several conversations with you. Over the last 3 months or so, 2 or 3 months, staff has received, planning staff, a number of inquiries of as far as allowable uses in the Gateway zoning district. In particular, classes like there's gymnastics request. There's one for either hot Pilates or yoga, and there's one also for an acrobatics type of studio. One of them is a resident that I'm sure she's reached out to a number of you. Actually, she sent an email out asking to have her to be allowed to bring this business to the business district, to the Gateway Business District. The issue at hand is right now it's not allowed. It's just not allowed. I've been told over these past 3 months, oh, but the council's intent back in the day. I get it. And I respect what their intent was back in the day, but I can't see it in the code. I can't interpret their intent with what's written in the code. So I know a number of you have we've spoken, and there's an interest. So I said, you know what, it's time to have a conversation. You're my counsel, you're the council now. I want to know what your intent is. And there's no wrong answer. Clearly the market is telling us something. I don't know what's happening, but we received quite a few over the last couple of months. It's a use that could be beneficial in that area. I see the kids right now. There's already the karate studio, Ray's Taekwondo is that use. So you see them throughout the city. It's allowed in the overall business district. It's just not in the Gateway. So they're requesting to be in the Gateway.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to open it up to the council.
Well,
Go
Mayor,
ahead.
I think it's encouraging to see that our residents would like to open up businesses here in the city. It's very promising. I'd hate to see us stifle that. And when we first talked about this, I did not understand what the previous councils had, what their vision was. I believe that the residents should be able to not leave the city for services that they can go elsewhere. They want to stay within the community. They want to be between walking or driving distance. And I'm glad we're having this conversation, because I did not understand how we're limiting ourselves when it comes to the businesses that want to establish in the area, in the Gateway District, that we're within community standards, obviously, adhering to the community standards. So I'm glad we're having this conversation on that.
Thank you. Want to chime in?
Yeah, I agree. If that's what the market's asking for, I think that kind of use will have similar synergy that we were looking for with the restaurants. As parents drop off kids, they can still go to other cafes and restaurants. I mean, it's obvious if we're getting that many inquiries, then that's what the market needs. As a restaurateur, I can tell you it's a tough environment right now to open a restaurant. So not everybody's willing to invest a lot of money into a new spot. So I can see the synergy with our initial intent.
You have anything you want to add? Anyone?
I agree as well, and I don't mean to continue the same, but we have to give positive reinforcement, especially when it comes to businesses that are going to be good for the community, a resident. I believe that the red tapes that a lot of these businesses have to go through, it makes it hard for them to open, and it's already hard enough to have a business in Dade County, and if we could do anything to facilitate it, I'm all about it.
All right. Anyone else?
City planners, obviously, and zoning officials usually make these decisions on zoning because they're trying to adapt to community needs. It can go from economic development to creating a lively and sustainable environment, which is the spirit of that zoning in that area. But zoning is supposed to be flexible. And that's why we're here to discuss this. I believe that all the uses still need to be looked at carefully because it does have an impact on an area. And to me, I wish we didn't have to come to this decision here in the Diaz, to be honest with you. There were certain things on this approach that probably should have been handled differently. But, and I also think the building could have also been more attractive to invite restaurants. But markets change, and we have to be open to the possibilities of making a change. I just personally not sure if this impact of this particular use, what it's going to have on traffic in the area. I do have concerns about specifically the drop-off, non-drop-off of this particular use. And I think that's why sometimes you have zoning has special exemptions, conditional uses. So it's not that I'm against the possibility of that use. I just wish it was more in a conditional use where we could kind of see and kind of get a better feel if this is something that we want to see there in all that area. But to just put it out there without a conditional use, to me, I don't think it's something that I would like to consider. And I would like something that I can review and see the impact long term. And the conditional use, special exemption, that is why it's one of the tools that zoning have. So they can adapt, wait and see type of a situation with particular uses. And I think this is one that's deserving of that. I'm not saying that I'm completely against it. I just don't think it should be something permanently without watching what impact it has, especially in that little corner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, I have a question.
Sure.
This to the city manager. Do you know why this ordinance was originally adopted?
But you originally adopted?
Yeah.
Like,
do we have a...
like from way back when? I know that, what was it, like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, we did amend the uses to this district to allow for personal services, kind of like barbershops and veterinarian, and some medical.
And personal services.
And personal services. It was amended to allow those uses because originally it was just in that gateway, it was just retail and restaurants, to my understanding. And say what you will, but the pop-up retail stores, even the ones, larger chains are struggling, but that's just my opinion, what I've seen.
And to Councilman Santin, what kind of studies do you think should be conducted in order for you to consider this type of business?
I mean, the conditional use has a series of stuff that, obviously plannings and zoning discuss to bring up to us. I mean, traffic impact, obviously, in that corner. Just in general, there's a specific time that it gets picked up on. The kids get picked up at a certain time, every time. You're not bringing new people into the area. They're the same people coming to that particular use. And like I said, I'm up for wait and see if it does have a positive impact, but to just put it in the zoning permanently, that's where I'm, you know,
So just to be clear, you would think that or what you're saying is, pick up, like if someone gets picked up or dropped off in that exact location of where the business is, where we're trying to pass or, change the ordinance for, it will cause an issue because we already have a lot of traffic coming through there.
yeah, I mean, I think that's something for discussion when it would get brought up, and that's part of the thing. But so exactly to the T, what may happen, we don't know until that study would be done, or just by course of action. You see it and you realize it and you can address it. Obviously, you could address it on a development agreement, but in this particular case, there is no development except for the specific use. But I'm just saying, like I said, I understand markets change. Okay, but it doesn't mean that we want something that maybe permanently creates an area that now will not have the same, interests of this community. I mean, there's an appetite for it to be a little bit more lively. And restaurants, I know, as Councilman, Lamas has mentioned, he's in the business, it's definitely a struggle. But a lot of it is because obviously the infrastructure to get started is a very difficult thing. So it doesn't mean that others might not want to come to an area like this, because also the local flavor is also very important for new restaurants and new chefs and stuff like that. Like I said, I like the conditional use. I think special exception makes it something that we can maybe have a better discussion about it. So I'm not against it. I just don't want to see it permanently. And that's my 2 cents.
Makes sense. Thank you, Councilman.
I mean, I can speak to Councilman's concern because my son was in Raised Taekwondo, and I witnessed the drop-off and pick-up situations that happened. It was easier when they were open in the back before they built the structure. But what you're talking about, the conditional uses, right? Security is one, right? If you're doing something with children, you want to make sure that it's a secure location. I understand your point of view when it comes to that.
I'd like to chime in. I would I would like to point out that these types of businesses are already allowed in the Central Business District. That's why Raised Taekwondo is there. It's just that it's not allowed in certain places on the ground floor. But so like for when Raised Taekwondo, had to close down after several decades, because he had an incredible following. I wondered, hey, what's going to go in there? And I was surprised to see that we have a thriving dance studio. You guys know Holly Bain and her studio. We're able to move there, and she has an unbelievable following. And I heard from a lot of people about that. Like that's a popular thing. There's also another place now that's opening up. I think that the market's evolving, right? And if there are things that we can allow that generate and promote, patrons and draw people to the Central Business District. I also know that there are a couple of restaurants that are already building out, that have permits open and are building out there. And I think that if there's that kind of demand, right, that they're opening up and it's sustainable, and if it's going to bring your patrons and foot traffic that can only complement the businesses that are already there. So I feel like being more restrictive is just going to, because at the end of the day, like I've always said, whenever we debate whether or not there's a parking problem, I always say we should hope that we end up having to deal with a parking problem, because if we're not, then that means that we have empty storefronts, and then we're really in trouble, right? So we should, we'll have to deal with it when it gets there. As a matter of fact, like the new apartment building that went up there is has all filled with residents. And the parking, the parking is like it is in the CBD, but it's going to get worse once all those storefronts open up and restaurants and all these businesses, and then we'll have to deal with it. But what's the alternative? Like having empty storefronts and not like that? I don't feel like that. So I understand what you guys are saying about kind of setting a sail to the evolving markets. And if this is something that's, there is an interest by the volume of people that, have come forward for these types of businesses, I feel it's something that we strongly have to consider. Any other discussion?
Do we talk about maybe the noise ordinances, or do we want to tackle that now? Eventually, when we talked about live music, how about having a place that had, what if a business wanted to have live music around the circle? I mean, we're now dealing with noise ordinances, or there's limitations on that?
Well,
But-
there's limitations, I believe, in other sections of the code, limitations on the noise. But in this particular case, we're just talking about.
This is just about
Okay, I'm
allowable
sorry.
uses.
Yeah. It is
Allowable uses in the Gateway District, overlay district. Do we have, I'd like to, if there's no further discussion, this is a first reading. This will come up for a second reading. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve 9A.
I'll set a motion to approve 9A.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, call the vote.
Vice Mayor Santin,
No.
Councilman Dion,
Yes.
Councilman Lamas,
Yes.
Councilman Perez Crespo,
Yes.
Mayor Fahet.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-1.
Okay. All right, we move on to 10, so, which is the consent agenda. And Heidi, I messed up. We approved the agenda, and I just realized that I want to pull 10A. Is that, how do I do that? How do we go backwards in time? We just ask?
Ask to pull it.
Okay, would you guys mind if I pull 10A for discussion?
Not at all.
Okay, it appears we have consensus. All right. So in that case, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve 10B through G.
B through
Things
G.
through H.
Sorry.
Well.
Sorry, I didn't see H. B through H, it was hiding on me, widowed on the other page. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve consent agenda items 10B through H.
To H. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a motion to approve consensus agenda from B to H.
Okay. Second? All right. Would you like to call the vote?
Vice Mayor Santin,
Yes.
Councilman Dion,
Yes.
Councilman Lamas,
Yes.
Councilman Perez Crespo,
Yes.
Mayor Fahet.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Okay, and so now I just want to open up for discussion 10A. So we spoke a few months ago when the idea came up. So there are other cities that have city historians, honorary city historians. And obviously we're preparing for the centennial, and we thought, hey, how are we going to celebrate our 100th year with everything that we're doing in kind of as a retrospective and not have our own honorary city historian? And when we brought it up, I think that everybody, it's like, don't think about a pink elephant. The second we started discussing this, I feel like everybody had one name in mind, and that was Mr. Ken Wild. So, would it be out of protocol to have him say a few words, Heidi, during this discussion?
If the council would.
Okay, so I would, I just want to say everybody unanimously just thought it was just obvious that the person, and I've known Ken. I went to Springview with Mike, with his son. He started Troop 334, which is our very successful scout troop. He's a man who has lived his life here, and very, very few people have done more to promote the history and protect the history of Miami Springs than Ken Wild. So, Ken, do you want to come on up? And how about a big hand for our...
So I'm honored that you all created this position for me. The inaugural, I understand it's the inaugural city historian after 99 years. I've been here most of those 99 years. As has my wife, and I want to thank the council for creating this for me, and also my life partner of 62 years and wife of 55 years, who is the same person. was not able to be here tonight. She's got nursing a injured leg. So at any rate, if any of you, you all have my phone number. If any of you have any questions, or in the audience have any questions about the history of Miami Springs, if you don't know me personally, drop a line to the city clerk or the senior center. I administer the Historical Society Facebook page. That's over 40,000 followers on that now. Drop me a message there, and I will, if I don't know the history question right off the top of my mind, you can usually find it out. So I'm very accessible, whether a phone call or an email or a direct message.
Can you speak into the mic just for anybody listening online or seeing this later? How can they contact you if they have a question about the history of Miami Springs?
If you have any questions about the history of Miami Springs, you can drop a note at the senior center or at the city clerk, and they'll give you my phone number. I administer the Historical Society Facebook page, which, as I said a few minutes ago, I think as of this afternoon, we have 40,466 followers. And drop me a message through that Facebook page, and I will usually respond within an hour or two, sometimes immediately. I spend most of my days online researching the history of Miami Springs and answering questions, so I'm happy to entertain any questions that you may have on the history of Miami Springs. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ken. We honor you. Thank you for everything you do for the city. Thank you. Okay, so can I have a motion to approve 10A?
Make a motion to approve 10A.
Okay, so Vice Mayor with the motion, second from, thank you. All right, call the vote.
Vice Mayor Santin?
Yes.
Councilman Dion?
Yes.
Councilman Lamas? Councilman Perez Crespo?
Yes.
Mayor Fahet?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so we move on. There is no old business. We move on to 12 new business, and we begin with 12A. Could you please read that?
A resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Miami Springs, Florida, approving a fourth amendment to the professional services agreement with American Traffic Solutions Incorporated, doing business as Vera Mobility for camera systems and services relating to the monitoring and enforcement of red light traffic violations in an amount not to exceed budgeted funds, providing for authorization, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date.
All right, thank you. And this does require a public hearing, so we're going to open up for a public hearing. Is there anybody who would like, in the audience or online, who would like to speak to agenda item 12A?
No one online.
No? Okay, close that public hearing. All right. I open it up for discussion.
If you'd like, I can just introduce it real quick.
Sure, please, go ahead.
Bureau Mobility is the red light camera provider that we've had from the very beginning. They're on 36th Street on the red light cameras. The police department has done an amazing job in identifying areas to save money, and one of them is they renegotiated the contracts with Vera, the contract with Vera, to not only reduce the cost per camera by over $1,000, but they also agreed to give us new equipment, more effective equipment at each location. And this would be a 5-year extension, so I would absolutely recommend this.
Absolutely. And it's my understanding that, like a lot of the things that our police department has been doing lately, they are looking for ways to be more efficient and effective, and this was one way to get us better equipment and save the city money.
Exactly.
Okay, always in favor of that. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to, just to make it clear that these cameras are only along Northwest 36th Street, not inside the city.
Correct.
On our side of 36th Street.
On our side of
On our
36th
side,
Street, that's correct.
Is there enforcement on the other side?
I don't think there's any red light cameras going eastbound.
Would you say the Wild Wild West? It's not us. Let's put it that way.
All right. Okay, like to entertain a motion to approve 12A.
A motion to approve 12A.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, let's call the vote.
Vice Mayor Santin?
Yes.
Councilman Dion?
Yes.
Councilman Lamas?
Yes.
Councilman Perez Crespo?
Yes.
Mayor Fahet?
Yes.
The motion carries.
All right, we move on to 12B.
12B, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Miami Springs, Florida, approving a second renewal term to the Miami Springs Country Club food and beverage concessionaire agreement with HRS Management Group, LLC, providing for implementation and providing for an effective date.
All right.
Mayor,
Sure.
this, about a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago, I lose track of time. The contract with HRS was extended for 5 years, but at that time, the council asked that it come back each year before you to approve each year individually, I guess. But the overall 5 was approved. So this is what we're doing, is just bringing it back to you for the year, as requested.
All right.
Through the chair.
Sure.
At the time was something that we kind of wanted to see for reasons, probational period type of thing. But they've shown more than deserving of continue doing business. And I think it's just difficult to do business 1 year at a time. That's just, you can't be looking over your shoulder. And there's no way of making capital improvements or just making any other improvements that would only make the business better when you're watching over your shoulders, if you're going to even last a year or two. So I think, to me, obviously at this point we have no choice to continue on not that it's a bad choice, it's a good choice, but for this year, it's already in place. We're already deep into the first year. So the first year would stay the same, but I'd like to make direction for you to discuss with them at their discretion of how much more, but I believe it should be extended at least a minimum 4 years, 5, but
You see, you want me to, the remaining amount, that the original 5 years, you want me to come back and,
yeah, and discuss
Negotiate.
longer than a 1 year, every 1 year thing. I don't think that works.
so you want me to get with them and come back with?
That's what I like to see.
Okay.
It's up to the council, what they want to do, but in my opinion, I would like to see that.
Any comment?
So so that you're gonna redo the contract so it can be,
From my understanding, he's asking me to go talk to them and come to some kind of agreement for the remaining balance, for the remaining years that are left in the extension.
that they wouldn't come before council every
So
year
they
after?
don't have to come before council every year, so it's.
Okay. Is it a problem for them to come before council? I mean, I know what you're asking, but I mean, is it just to give like hey, this is how things are going, or this is what we like to see? Is that a valid?
I'm not a restaurateur. We have one on the council now, but,
You do?
and he has explained to me, and I can see it, right? And they've even told me that it's tough, like Yannick, in my meetings with him, he says it's tough to, say, they book a wedding. They're gonna book a wedding a year and a half from now, over a year from now, when they're year to year. So it becomes difficult to really operate.
Right, to plan ahead. I understand.
Plan ahead.
Okay.
Chair, in consistency with what I was saying earlier with the last business, I think that, adding red tape to a small business to operate, we shouldn't, encourage that. We shouldn't get in the way of that. So, and there's already, I imagine the county has a bunch of ordinances that they have to go through to make sure that they're doing everything, like running a clean business. So I agree with Councilman Santin on this one.
I agree. I mean, it's tough enough to run a. First off, I think you guys have done a great job with what you have. It's a tough old building to work with. You guys really turned that place around. So I'd say probationary period would be over. And it's really hard to operate a restaurant or any business if you don't know the fate, within 11 and a half months every time you sign a lease. So, yeah, I'd agree with continuing the same total term as a full lease, like anybody would do.
And I would just like to add that, what had been standard practice is that we would do, these 5 year, or in bunches, not 1 year at a time for the reasons that we discussed. And unfortunately, they had the double whammy of having to deal with COVID, which made it really hard for them to be able to, get off the ground with or do their business with their contract that they had previously. And then, once we finally got going after COVID, then we had the shutdown of the golf course. and then we shut down the golf course, and then that got extended. So, I think that when this came up, that they were put on a probationary period, it was a different council, and there were questions about, because there were some things that just, they needed a little bit more time. But I feel like in that time, they have more than showed that they got off the ground and they're thriving. So I think that it's only right to let them fulfill the balance of that contract. So.
And just so you know, at that time, this was previous council, they fell behind. They fell behind on their payments because of the shutdown on the golf course.
Exactly.
After I got here and we brought that to a close, they are
Mhm.
current. They have not fallen behind on their payments. So
Yeah.
they're doing what they said they were going to do. They're working now. They're working with Derm on their grease traps and all that fun stuff. So they're doing what they need to do.
I feel like they kept their end of the bargain.
Chair, would I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but if you would it be okay to ask him to say a few words if so in consistency of like trying to hear so everyone can hear. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
State your name for the record.
Yannick Kamash, one of the owners of HRS Management Group at the Country Club, 650 Curtis Parkway. Well, thank you, everybody here, for the words. I appreciate, the support that you're giving us. It's definitely, as the city manager said, that time was definitely a tough time. As the mayor said, the first 5 years of us being there was definitely a roller coaster ride, to say the least. And we're grateful that we were able to work with the city and figure out the right way to stabilize. And I think we've definitely stabilized at this point. So anything, I'm always available. But definitely, I agree. Year to year is tough.
Yeah.
Year to year is tough to plan. Tough to invest in the building. Tough to, when you're year to year, you almost want to say, hey, when do you stop investing?
Right.
But we definitely, we love what we do. So, and I appreciate everybody's words for supporting us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Mayor, you guys can approve this, but if you guys give me direction, I can come back sooner than later with just something for the rest of the term.
okay, can we just approve it contingent on them doing that, on him being able to negotiate that? I mean, I should be
I think you would be approving just the item that you have before you,
okay.
and then giving the manager the direction that he
That he can.
that you're giving him. So
Okay.
it's two things.
Come back with
That's fine.
something,
Yeah.
a renegotiated agreement for the rest.
Okay.
Sure.
right.
Would that come before us at a future date?
That would come back
Yes.
before you, and that would be the last time, if you guys approve it, it would be
Right.
the last time it comes before you until the remaining.
For 4 more years.
Understood.
Okay, so I'd like to entertain a motion to approve 12B as it is written, with giving direction to the city manager to go ahead and renegotiate that for the balance of the term and bring that to us at a later date. So, anybody want to propose a motion to approve 12B?
I'll set a motion to approve 12B.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second that.
Okay, I think it was Landy.
Sorry.
Okay, all right. Call the vote.
The motion is to approve and give direction to the city manager to
Yes.
renegotiate the contract. Vice Mayor Santin.
Yes.
Councilman Dion. Councilman Dion.
Yes.
Councilman Lamas.
Yes.
Councilman Perez Crespo.
Yes.
Mayor Fahet.
Yes, without all the expletives.
Motion.
Just a regular
Carries.
yes. I'm not that eager.
Someone's really excited about this.
Yeah, I'm
motion
not
being
that
passed.
excited about it. Sorry, Patrick Yannick. I'm just a regular yes. I'm not that excited about it. Okay. All right. Let's move on to 13A, a request by myself to propose recognizing historic homes over 100 years old through proclamation from the City Council. So, like I am not above stealing ideas from other cities. And I've got some very close friends of ours that live in the Shenandoah area of the city of Miami, and their house turned 100, and they got a proclamation from the city of Miami. And I just thought that was the neatest thing. And then when you research it, you see that a bunch of cities do something similar, just like having a city historian. And I thought, hey, let's do it. We've got some. As a matter of fact, I heard there's some houses that are 102 years old. So this is going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to presenting people with a proclamation that they could hang on their wall, and I think it's a great thing. So I spoke to city staff about this, and they said that it was something that we could do. I actually got a copy of the proclamation that our friends got from the city of Miami, and we're going to do something very similar. So I'd like to ask if we have consensus from the council, would you guys be interested in moving forward and doing something like this?
I like the idea, Mr.
Okay.
Mayor. Thank you.
You guys are on board?
Yes.
All right.
Well, on
Awesome.
board.
So we have,
Did have a question. Did
Yep.
you want this to go through the Historic Preservation Board to select those homes, or is this something that?
so actually that is a good idea. I think that they probably have the best expertise and bandwidth to look into that.
Yeah, it'll be a fun assignment.
Yeah, it'll be a fun assignment for them, and I can't wait. I think I'm excited. I want to see all the houses that we have as the city turns 100, all the historic homes that we have. I think it'll be really cool.
I have a question.
Mhm.
It's a great idea, by the way. Would this add any issues to like what we have now with the historic homes, that if they want to build or make any?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's my understanding this is just recognizing through proclamation historic homes. I don't think that this will have anything to do with the any designation that they may have. Would
To the
Thank
chair,
you, Mayor.
I think most of those homes are going to have already they're already landmarked.
yeah, they're already
They're
landmarked,
already,
but
historic homes.
yeah, it's just recognition by proclamation. I think it's a really cool thing, and I think it would be exciting for the city to share in that.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, all right. So we will move on to 13B, a request by Councilman Perez Crespo to discuss renaming George Washington Park at 401 Westward Drive. I'll let you take it from there.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, and to everyone here in the City Hall chambers and online. There is a small piece of land located at 401 Westward Drive in front of our public library. It has small benches, a few honorary memorial plaques, a whimsical bicycle rack, and a butterfly and bird garden. This garden was installed on May 6, 1995 by dedicated volunteers who planted 423 plants and trees. The Miami Springs Women's Club was among the patrons. The Miami Springs Garden Club, which met at the Women's Club, led the effort, though it is no longer active. The space, currently known as George Washington Park, is named after the commander of the Continental Army during the American Revolution and our nation's first president. George Washington never lived or visited Miami Springs.
Not that we know of.
According to our honorary city historian, Mr. Ken Wild, there is no record of him having any direct connection to our community. But Imogen A. Post did. Imogen Post founded and served as the first president of the Miami Springs Women's Club, the group behind our first public library. In the late 1930s, the club hosted a library tea and collected 171 volumes for a small back room of the municipal building. Over the years, that collection grew to thousands of books. In the 1940s, the Women's Club maintained and grew the library, hired a librarian, and organized after-school programs. In 1949, the library relocated to the newly built Miami Women's Clubhouse. In January 1960, all the books were donated and relocated to the current location of the public library that we all know and enjoy today. Mrs. Post's impact extended beyond the library. As president, she championed the Women's Club with major city beautification projects at all city entrances. enhancing the appeal of Miami Springs. She also played a pivotal role in founding both the Methodist and Presbyterian churches, fostering spiritual and civic growth within our community. Mrs. Post's son, Howard Malvern Post, also left a mark. Raised in Miami Springs, he was close friends with Arthur Peavy, a familiar name. He was a World War II and Korean War veteran, and he started a small firm right here on Westward Drive, Post, Buckley, Mooney, and Shue, PBS&J. That firm became a major engineering company and was responsible for designing and building many infrastructure projects, including the town of Miami Lakes. As we approach the centennial of our great city, this moment presents us with a meaningful opportunity to honor an individual whose vision directly shaped our city. Renaming the park would more authentically reflect our community's history and celebrate Mrs. Post's legacy. I respectfully propose renaming the park in front of our library after Imogen A. Post. It would be a fitting tribute, an important literary connection, and an inspiration for future generations about leadership and community. Thank you.
All right. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's a great idea. What do you think?
And without any disrespect to our first president of the United States, I agree.
I agree as well.
All right.
I agree.
Sounds like we have consensus.
We can't put a sign that says George Washington slept here or anything.
Right.
Wait,
Well,
do we know the history why the park was named after George Washington?
I tried to look that up. See, where I was from in New York, there is a sign that George Washington, because he actually, the Revolutionary Wars were fought along the Hudson River. So they do lay claim to George Washington slept here and was active in the area. Here, he hasn't. He wasn't.
All right. Okay. Well, I think we have consensus, and we can give staff direction to move forward on that. I think it's a great idea. Thank you for bringing that up, Councilman. Okay, we move on to reports and recommendations. 14A. We hear from our esteemed city attorney.
I was gonna try to make a joke, but I'm not going to. No further reports tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear from.
Never
our-
going to top what just happened earlier.
Yeah. No. That's,
Okay.
No, it was honestly, the guy was on video on our Zoom feed for the world to see. So
Really.
yeah,
It was a Zoom call.
we're taking care of it.
Okay.
We're deviating.
Policy will change after this.
Oh.
Now you can chime in.
Thank you for the transparency.
No, wait until he gets to the budget workshop tomorrow, if he likes that.
Yeah,
But
boy.
anyway, tomorrow's the budget workshop. I hope it's not on Zoom. So, but anyway, for anybody, please come. That's all.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah, we have a few events that are upcoming. We have a blood drive at the community center with One Blood on August 14th from 12:30 to 7:30. We have Community Shred Day on Tuesday, August 19th from 4 to 7. We have the Miami Springs Centennial presents the Ride Through History, the Family Bike Tour, which is on Saturday, August 23rd from 8:30 to 10:30. We have the PGA Family Golf event on Sunday, August 24th from 4 to 6 p.m. We have Springs Cheer. You can sign up for that in person. The registration is on August 18th and 19th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the rec center. Spots are limited. We have our Centennial Committee meeting this Wednesday, August 13th from 6 to 8. We have the Sips and Tips Golf and Country Club event for adult beginner golf clinics, which happens every Mondays from 6:30 through 7:30. So you have to register for that. I think I got everything. We have our Miami Springs After School Junior Golf Program that Miami Springs can sign up for. It starts on Tuesday, September 2nd, but The spots are limited, so we're encouraging everybody to sign up. We have our PGA Junior League at the golf course as well. This is a program that starts on Saturday, September 6th, and again, spaces are limited on that as well. And the players of all skills levels from ages 6 to 14 are welcome to join the team. We have our 2025-26 soccer registration that is at Stafford Park at 6 p.m. For registration for that. And that's about it.
That's a lot.
Lots of things.
All right. Okay, so moving on then to the city clerk.
Is this on? Okay. August 13th, we have the Centennial Committee meeting at 6 o'clock here at City Hall. August 18th, we have the council workshop at here as well. And then August 25th, we have a council meeting and a community workshop at the Senior Center. So all of that will be announced on our website and calendar.
All right. Thank you. All right. And now we'll hear from our council. I'm going to change it up. Start with you, Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. What you said about stealing ideas from other cities, it's a great way to. We did that. We were on vacation up in on the East Coast of Florida. We drove through Delray Beach, Boca Raton, who celebrated their centennial as well. We looked at what they were doing to honor their 100 years, and we got some ideas. It's exciting to drive through other cities that are celebrating their centennial as we approach ours. It is an exciting time in the city to get involved. I encourage everyone to come to Wednesday's Centennial Committee meeting. Please get involved, see what we're doing. The pins, I love the pins. I think the pins are wonderful. I can't wait to see them on people's jackets and backpacks and shirts. That's just the start. It's back to school, so please be careful driving out there. And we're busy coming up, a lot going on. So get involved, come to the budget meetings, come to Centennial meetings, see what your city's doing. It's an exciting time. Thank you.
Councilman Lamas.
It's great to be back from our brief break, see everyone again, and it's great to see so many filled seats. It gets lonely up here sometimes, right? We're just talking to ourselves. Welcome back.
Thank you, Councilman.
So the civic clubs are the heartbeat of our community. And this week I want to recognize the Alita West State Lodge, number 145, free and accepted Masons, established prior to our establishment as Miami Springs in 1923. They have adopted 36th Street, stretching from 42nd Avenue to Curtis Parkway. It's already been a few years since they did this. But this Saturday at 8 a.m., they will be conducting a street cleanup on 36th Street.
Awesome. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, through the chair. I want to elaborate a little bit more on the bike tour of our landmarks. It is, like I mentioned earlier, August 23rd, 8:30 registration. We already have 80 kids, and some parents, I'm sure, are going to be in there making sure the little toddlers are going in the right direction. And it's going to go all the way to 2 o'clock. We're going to have hot dogs and hamburgers that were donated by Ricky Meats. We also have other sponsors that are helping on this event, including the police department. It's going to have a obstacle course for the kids when they get back. Historical Society is involved also hosting this event. We'll have people, Buzz, if you didn't hear it straight from Jamie, but you'll be there helping us have some personal tours of the mansion and having these kids get a little bit more in tune to our history. So we're going to have a bunch of exhibits in there, including Rick Leisenring Jr., which is the emeritus curator of the Glenn Curtis Museum in Hammondsport, will be there. And he will have a book signing of the motorcycle and history of the bicycle with Glenn Curtis. So it's a lot of little more things than just the ride to the landmark houses. It's a point to get educate the children of our community into our history. So join us.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. All right. So when we edit that, or can we keep our reactions after it was over? Because I felt like we all had to like smoke a cigarette afterwards. That was interesting. All right. So it's going to be a really busy month. We are starting the budget process. We're going to have 2 budget workshops. Obviously, everybody's very interested in the millage rate and what we're going to do with the budget. So you got to stay tuned to that. And now that we are back from the summer, we are going to engage again in the Southeast Springs. We have workshops that are coming up this month, including one that will be a workshop at the Senior Center where everybody will be able to chime in with public comment. So we are kicking off our efforts to try to revitalize Southeast Springs. So I encourage everybody to be involved. And remember that as school starts again, those school speed zones are back up and running. So please do not go 11 miles over the speed limit. Be careful so that you don't pay a fine. All right. So this meeting is adjourned. We would have made it if it had not been for that passionate interlude. We might have made it before 8 o'clock. This meeting is adjourned at 8:09. Thank you.
Thank you. Man. Well, Walter can't hold himself back. He had so many things to say.
Well, we'll be going viral.
It's almost like, well, that,
Thank you.
thank you.
Alrighty. Yes. Yes.
Imagine it was up in the street.
I'm gonna work with Full Moon, our AV guys. They'll